To add transactions, first we need to create account. So for that, first I'll click on launch dashboard. It will be redirected to our dashboard page. When we scroll down, here we can see an options to add new account. I'll click on add new account. I will give the name as savings account and I will type the account type as savings. Suppose if you are using any other current account, even you can click on current account and change the account type to current. Initial balance. So I will give the initial balance as 5000 and I will set it as default. Now I will click on create account. As you can see, the account created successfully. Once you refresh the page, you can see the savings account here. Now to add transaction, you can see here this is the icon to add transaction. When I click on add transaction, here we can see some of the input fields that we need to fill. Suppose think that it is an type of expense. If the amount is coming to your wallet, then it will be income. If you are spending the money, then it will be expense. For the first time, I will give an example for expense. I will select expense and suppose think that I have spent an amount of 300 on the food. So I will type the amount as 300. If you have multiple accounts, you can choose the account from here. I have only the savings account for now, so it is showing only the savings account. Now I will choose the category, that is food, and the date will be on 13th, and I will enter the description. Enter the food item name as a description and I will click on create transaction. As you can see, that transaction created successfully. It will be later redirected to the savings account page, that is your account page. As you can see that your initial balance was 5000 but you have spent 3000 rupees, and so the amount will be 4700 for now. As you can see the transaction here, the date, the description, the category and the amount you have spent. Again, if we go to the dashboard, as you can see here, where we have spent most of our amount, we can see the recent transactions here. If we have multiple accounts, to see different accounts recent transaction, you can just click here and select the account and you can analyze where you have spent most of the money using the pie chart. As most of the transactions has been added, it will show a beautiful graph where you are spending the most. Suppose think that again I will take a transaction. I will click on add transaction. This time this is also a type of expense, but the amount will be 999. I am spending this amount as a utilities and I will give the description as Wi-Fi bill. As the Wi-Fi bill will be generated every month, so it will be of recurring transaction. So I will turn it on and I will select the date as first. So when we select recurring transaction and we will select the date one, and the recurring interval will be monthly because the Wi-Fi will be generated every month. So I will select it monthly. Now when we click on create transaction, deduct the amount of 999, it will show as an expense. When we click on recurring transaction, it will make the amount as expense of 999 every month on the first of every month. As when we click on create transaction, recurring transactions are nothing but that these expenses will be every month without our intention, like Wi-Fi bill, electricity bill. But electricity bill will be varied, but the Wi-Fi bill will be the same. So every month it will show the expense of 999 as a expense. As you can see here, the recurring is monthly. Suppose think that you have added a transaction, but you want to edit it. So for that you will just click on edit, and you can change the amount, the description, anything. Suppose I will change the amount 300 to 500, and I will add even the one more description as, and I will click on update transaction. So the transaction will be updated. Even if you give any transactions that are wrong, even you can edit it without deleting it. Now again I will come back to the dashboard page. Here you can see that our monthly expenses has been shown. With the food we have spent 500 rupees, and for the utilities, that is Wi-Fi bill, we have spent 999 this month. Suppose think that you have an budget of 4000 to 5000 every month. Suppose think that the budget is 4000. For monthly I can spend only up to 4000. There will be some budget, right? So I will set a monthly budget of 4000. So we can track the progress, how much we have spent till now. As you can see here, the total amount is 500 of 4000. So only the expenses that are particular date will be shown here, not the recurring transactions. Suppose you can see here the monthly budget has already exceeded 12.5%. If it exceeds 80%, you will get a detailed information mail about where you have spent most of the expenses, and it will show how you can reduce that expense and where to invest the money through our AI model. Now I will show an income also. So again I will click on add transaction. I will select the type of income, and I will enter 2000 rupees, and I will select the category other income. If you have any type of these types of income, you can choose that. Now I will select as other income, and I will give description as pocket money, so that I am entering this, that some of the amount, that is almost 2000 rupees, as given by my parents as a pocket money. I will click on create transaction. As you can see here, the total income is 2000, total expense is 1499. The 4499 is about 500 rupees for the food, and 999 is for the Wi-Fi bill. Even if you want to see the transactions monthly or last 7 days, you can shortlist here. As you can see, all the recent transactions has been added. Suppose if you want to delete any of these transactions, just click on the checkbox and you can click on delete selected. It will be deleted. Now we have an AI model to make some of the work easier. Suppose you have a bill that you have went to a supermarket or a restaurant, you have an expense, but don't need to waste time by adding all these manually. So we have an option to add the transaction automatically with the help of AI. So as you can see here, when we click on add transaction, we can see the option of scan receipt with AI. When I click on the scan receipt with AI, Just I will scan the invoice and I will just click on use photo. When I do that, the total amount of the bill, that is 2241, will be added, and we can select the type of category. So it is a invoice for the restaurant, so I will click on food, and automatically the invoice date will be added here. And in the description, the items that there is the items that are in the invoice, such as you can see, the all the items of veg manchurian soup, masala papad, all the items will be added automatically in the description. And just you can create a transaction without editing any of these fields. This is how we can make AI to use it our application more faster. In the dashboard, as you can see the recent transactions, that is on the Jan 3rd, that is the invoice date, the total amount is 2241, and all the items of the invoice has been added automatically here. This is how we can use EZY Budget.